something special, Thunderdome style, virtual fans, drone camera. I'm looking forward to being a part of SummerSlam and getting back in action. Hopefully this will be the kickoff. This will be the reboot for WWE, getting back to that place to where, fans are somewhat part of the show. So I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's going to be great. So they announced it yesterday. They're taking over the Amway Center. WWE is almost doing a residency of sorts, like you would in Las Vegas. They're taking up a residency over there at the Amway Center in Orlando, and they're calling it the Thunderdome. And I hear, Book, they're going to bring in these big screens, put them all where the arena is, and have virtual fans on the board. And I think this is great, honestly, because this is what the NBA has done in the bubble. Everything happens in a centralized source, and we have digital fans on the board who are reacting as if they're there. And it's really worked out well for them. When you watch an NBA game right now, you forget that it's not 20,000 people there. You're really involved in the action and the presentation of it. And this is going to allow WWE, like you said, with drone cams, to implement so many different camera angles, different viewpoints, different little things that we wouldn't normally see in a broadcast. So I like the idea. It's called the Thunderdome. That just gets me excited. It sounds like Mad Max Fury Road, and I'm ready to see what happens in it. Do you have any more details, or let me ask you this, what was your first reaction when you heard we're moving out of the PC, we're doing SummerSlam at the Amway Center?
Yeah. Of course, the rumor has been flying around for the past, couple of weeks as far as, they did not want to have the pay-per-view inside the PC. And I totally understand that, that be able to use a lot of the props that WWE have. PC is just not going to be big enough to be able to pull something off like that. But doing this at a arena, Amway, it's going to be, something different, to be able to bring those screens in, those LED boards, and have virtual fans there. And from what I was reading, you got to sign up to be a fan. So it's like it's going to be quite the spectacle. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how they pull this thing off. There again, the drone camera they was talking about, that's going to be something really, really cool. One thing we haven't had in quite some time is pyro. The entrance of the guys definitely has been something that's been lacking. So now having that pyrotechnics effect is going to give the show a whole lot different feel as well. You say the fans, it really doesn't affect you not having fans, watching NBA. But for me, it seemed like I'm watching, a pickup game. It seemed like I'm watching, a game at the gym, at some high school gym. That's the feel I'm getting from it, because I don't hear, fans, and there is no fan interaction. The guy isn't, trying to, save the basketball from going out of bounds and take the big jump like Dennis Rodman did, back in the day. That kind of stuff is missing from the game, and it seems a lot more, let's just say, docile. It doesn't seem like nobody want to get into a fight. The way the game.
Yeah. No, I hear you. But wrestling definitely needs some sort of audience. So if they can get, I don't know how many people are going to be on these screens. I don't know if they've said exactly, but if there's a few hundred people, even 1,000 people with reliable internet service who are able to audibly make noise when they see their favorite or least favorite performers, that's going to add to the ambiance and the environment tenfold. Because that's the thing. I remember when the WrestleMania event happened, and there was the triangle ladder match, the triple threat ladder match, and you could hear every bump and bruise that was happening to these guys. And it was a great match, but it didn't have the same feel that a WrestleMania ladder match would have. So I'm hoping that SummerSlam has more of a SummerSlam vibe than we have seen in some of these pay-per-views of the last couple months.
Yeah. I think no doubt it has to, just being in that atmosphere in that arena outside PC. It's definitely got to feel different. With myself being there live, for a panel, being able to put on a nice suit, being able to
closet full of them.
yeah, we'll have something real nice for the show. So I'm looking forward to actually doing that part right there, and being there. There again, I must say it is something that's you're still a little leery about.
Right.
So I'm definitely going to be taking precautions as far as, you know, what am I going to be doing while I'm there? I'm going to make sure I'm still social distancing. I'll make sure, you know, I do everything properly. I got to
have your Boomer Naturals mask on.
exactly. I got to take a COVID test,
Right.
of course, to make sure, you know, and then I got to, you know, quarantine for a day. So it's a lot involved. It's a lot involved with going along with this thing for me to actually make it there. So I got to do my part. So I'm looking forward to actually being a part of this environment, you know, just one more time. Hopefully we can get to there again, like they are in Wuhan right now. Well, you know what, man, I was just watching Pacquiao versus Juan Marquez.
I was watching it last night too. Yeah.
I was watching before.
Okay, I was watching too.
And you know what, man, I miss being a part of that crowd. I missed that, man. It seemed like it was so long ago that our life was like that. You know, it really seemed like it was so long ago where we could stand shoulder to shoulder, screaming as loud as we want, and being a part of that festivities. And I hate being around crowds. I hate being around crowds unless it's a boxing match. You know, it's crazy, and I'm missing that, and I cannot wait till we can kick it off like that again. Man.
It is funny. I was just thinking about and I was talking to someone about this just yesterday. When we were at the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight, and we were walking out. We were leaving the MGM Grand Garden Arena, walking back to our hotel rooms, and there were all the European citizens who were visiting to cheer on Tyson Fury, going, "Oh, Tyson Fury!" Oh, and they were singing that song that they sing, and I was thinking, like, God, get me out of here! Like, I don't want to be around these people. And now I would do anything to go back and be at the same.
I stay there all night. You know?
Yeah, I'll listen to whatever y'all want to sing.
Yeah, that's the way I feel too, man.
You know what's funny too? You remember we were right before that fight. There's a quick story. Right before that fight, we were outside at the MGM getting fresh air, and there was this group of Europeans that walked up. They were Englishmen, and they're like, "Hey, Booker T, who you got tonight, Booker T?" And Booker, who was for Wilder, to everybody who came up to him, he's like, "Oh, I got Tyson Fury." You know, you did it in an English accent. And then they walked away, and you're like, "I don't got Tyson Fury."
The contingency was way too large that day, man. I mean, it was swaying way not in our favor, and I was like, man, I'm not going to start no trouble because they're half of them, you know, drinking. They're a little inebriated. I'm not going to say they were drunk or anything like that, but they definitely was a little tipsy. And Englishmen, man, they can be a little rowdy. So I said, let me just calm the situation. So give them an answer that I know they want to hear, and they'll move along quietly. So that's the way you handle certain situations, man. You got to know what kind of, you know, moment that you're having, because there again, it's a moment that you will never ever get back.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But
but create that atmosphere in Thunderdome, brother. That it will be really good, because I mean, for a while they had no crowd at all, and then they brought in the Performance Center people, and the Performance Center people added to the show. The trainees, the members of the NXT roster, they added to the show. But I think we talked about this before, of how they are trained wrestlers and they've been around this so for long. They know what they're supposed to do for the match. Yeah. They're not giving the most genuine of reaction. So if you can have real fans who are lost in the story and are still able to emote, and we can see them on screen, I think it's going to do a lot for the storytelling within these matches on Sunday.